Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. This is Game God Affluent, bringing you episode 1 of a new Let's Try. So today we're going to be taking a look at a game that, man, I just kind of discovered its existence about an hour ago. I was looking through my list and I said, let me go to I have about, 2,000 games on Steam. And I said, let me go to the bottom of this list and see, what I can install or look at that I don't know much about through the uninstalled games, because I have about 1,000 or so installed, maybe more. And I was looking and I saw a game called Infinite Dungeon Crawler. And I checked out the store page and I checked out the DLC. I saw there was a bunch, like 5 or 6 DLC for it. And I saw the DLC added new monsters and weapons and armor, and it seemed like a really interesting little thing that just came out of nowhere. So it says I played for 34 minutes. That was mostly just the game left on of me going in a few menus. So I'm pretty blind here, but I did just, as soon as I saw what it looked like and read a little bit about what it was about on the store page, I bought all the DLC and I was like, yes, we're definitely doing this. So without further ado, let's hit play on Infinite Dungeon Crawler. And it's made by DD Consulting. Let's go ahead and get into it. It might say what it does on the tin. An Infinite Dungeon Crawler. Sounds pretty cool though. And we do have the DLC, as I said. So here we go. 2021 apparently. Let's go ahead and check settings. I did make Emmerich. We're going to delete him because we're going to make a new character. Got some volume response rate. Controls the frequency of characters responding yes or oh after an attack. Just leave that at default, I guess. Game difficulty at default. Game speed. Game graphics are turned all the way up. Frames per second, 60. Scaling of the text and stuff. Don't want smaller map. I turned on the blue highlight for colorblind individuals. Non-combat stamina. If checked, stamina will be used while exploring the world screen. Final hit to kill. Once a character's or monster's HP is reduced to 0, a final hit is required to kill. Old school mode I checked. To play the game as it was originally intended, maximum stamina regeneration is limited to only a successful defend. Much more difficult. Cool. I didn't click freeze morale. Managing hireling morale is an integral part of the original game design. You may check this if you wish to play without regard for hireling morale. No way, we want that. Auto-save after camp. Auto-expand combat log. That's a nice little feature. Turn this on to automatically expand the combat log when combat starts and collapse it to the smallest size when combat ends. Single tap to move. No, we use a double tap. Texture filtering. This should generally be turned on, but you may find the graphics of characters and monsters look better on your system with it turned off. We'll see. Thicken lines and thickens the dark outlines around characters and monsters. Then we've got purchases. I've got all the purchases. They're only $2.99 a piece. We can contact, send log, and get right into new game. Let's do it. Wait 1 second. We are going to actually start with a tutorial. I made a mistake there. I have to go back. Previous, I can't. Okay, so let's exit out, actually. Oh no. Oh no, I can't stop the game. We'll get back into it, but yeah, we're going to create a character. And we are going to jump in the tutorial. It's kind of wordy, the tutorial, but it's important for us to understand what's going on. While most of it kind of is self-explanatory to a veteran RPG player, but still, we should go ahead and check out the tutorial. So welcome to Infinite Dungeon Crawler. We'll take a little while here to explain some of the basics about playing. Okay, exit tutorial, tap anywhere on the screen. This is your main character. You're on your way to the town of Evervale, the main commercial hub for adventurers like yourself that wish to make their fortunes via the mysterious gate. So here you are, walking through dark and dangerous woods with nothing except the clothes on your back and a torch. But first, a little about the game mechanics. Most of the action takes place here in the main screen. You can move the view around, zoom in or out with this slider bar. Right now your character can wander the map freely. Go ahead and tap twice anywhere on the visible map and your character will move there. Okay, so let's just go there. Yep, your legs work okay. When you're not in combat, you and your party can move about the map fairly freely and explore. You can also use arrow keys. Let's go over some basic things. The green bar shows your stamina points, also referred to as SP. Stamina is very important in this game. Stamina is used for everything from attacking and defending, moving and using special abilities and magic spells. You do not want to run out of stamina, a condition known as exhausted. Your body will normally restore stamina through stamina regeneration. This is done slowly over time as you walk around the map, and at the start of each turn during combat. Not everyone regenerates at the same rate, and it can be affected by many things, such as how much weight you're carrying, as well as negative or positive effects. The red bar shows your health points, referred to as HP. Health represents how much damage your body can take before dying. 0 health means any more damage and you're dead. Camping and resting, as well as restorative items and spells, can replenish your health. Unlike other RPGs, this does not magically go back up as you walk around. Okay, so here you are in the deep dark woods. Armed only with a torch, you need to find Evervale. Go ahead and explore the map. You may want to stick to the road to find your way. So, okay, let's stick to the road and find your way to Evervale. I guess we can take a little peek off the road. There's probably stuff around here. Did I find something? Tap a button. Tap the button to burn it. To burn what? I don't know. Let's just head back to the road. I think for now, we'll stick to the road just for the tutorial. Anything in this stump? Tap the button to burn it. Alright, let's come down here. Yikes, it's a wolf. Now you get to see some combat. Infinite Dungeon Crawler is a turn-based RPG. That means that each character gets to take certain actions, and we know what that is. See the pictures up here? This shows the movement order within the round. Movement order starts on the left. Current character is slightly larger, the box. That means it's our turn. The movement order is mostly determined by a character's initiative attribute, but is somewhat randomized. During your turn, you can move, take an action like attack, or do both of these in any order you choose. You can even move, take an action, then move again, as long as you have sufficient MP movement points. You need to move in order to attack. This is the move button, these boots. At the beginning of combat, it's selected by default like it is now. If whenever you start your turn, it's not already selected, tap on it. See the colored boxes on the ground? That shows how far you can move during a turn. Green indicates how you can move that far and still defend. Yellow shows how far you can move with no extra stamina used. And red shows how far you can really push it in one turn, but it costs you extra stamina. Okay, click on a path for movement. You'll see a blue travel path line. Okay, move closer to the wolf. Let's go ahead and stay in the green. Excellent. You may still be a little ways off. Then you tap the orange X button that appears. Okay, we can actually defend because we moved into the green, so let's go ahead and defend. See what happened. Old lame wolf attacks adventurer with very wimpy bite. Missed. Great, now we'll discuss how to attack. This is the attack button, the sword. The torch is a melee weapon. You can attack in the 4 cardinal directions. If you're armed with a ranged weapon, you can target in any direction within range, as long as line of sight is not blocked. Pretty basic stuff. Click attack and double click. Hit. 1.7 fire damage. 2.0 HP damage. And You may have or may have not hit that attack. You're a pretty low level novice right now, wielding a glorified stick. Not terribly accurate. Over time, you'll improve. Take a look at the combat log. You can see how accuracy measured up to the enemy's defense. We rolled a 30 accuracy. The defense was only 2. There's lots of modifiers to both values, such as bonuses for particular weapons, skills, stamina percentage, defending, etc. We won't cover all those here, but typically your chance to hit is your accuracy minus the defender's defense. The roll is based on a random number between 1 and 100. If the roll is less than or equal to accuracy minus defense, it is a hit. More than that, it's a miss. A roll of 5 or less is always hits no matter what. Plus, if you roll at least 25 below the required number to hit, that is also a critical hit that will do extra damage. The log will also show significant effects such as status effects. Pay attention to it. It's very important. The game is very stats heavy. Since your turn can be comprised of several actions, you need to signify when you're done. Okay, click X to end the turn. The animal is running away. This is the abilities button, the book. Let's go ahead and see what we have on hand. You have the brute force ability, which is an offensive melee type ability. You have to be next to the wolf. Okay, so let's go ahead and move. We'll move right here and click abilities. Brute force. Oh, I wanted to see what it does. Huh, guess we can't see from here. Or we click it. No, just use it. Oh, snap, son. We just messed that wolf up. Our chance to hit was 57%. We did 10 HP damage. Abilities use different criteria to determine if they hit. Generally, they're more powerful than melee attacks. However, abilities have a cooldown, usually 4 rounds, some are longer. And abilities tend to use more stamina than normal attacks, but the effects can be significant when scoring a hit, as we saw. Abilities are one of the coolest aspects of the game. There's a bunch of them, each differing depending on your class. Most abilities do additional things, such as damaging effects or extra physical or elemental damage. In addition to physical damage, brute force will push back on a successful hit, but also has a chance to knock down the target, making them vulnerable. You gain new abilities as you level up. You can see you've used a good portion of your stamina, a little bit. You really do need to concern yourself with not running out of stamina during combat. If your stamina goes below half, you'll see a status icon over your portrait that looks like a speed gauge. That means that you'll start to incur accuracy and defense penalties. The lower your stamina goes, the more the penalties, up to a maximum of a 50% reduction. Stamina regen kicks in at the start of each turn and you'll replenish a little bit of stamina, but when you're low you should skip attacking or using an ability and choose to defend instead. For the defend button to be active, you must not have attacked or used an ability during your turn, plus if you moved, you must have not moved beyond the green squares. Anyone that's currently using defend will show a shield icon next to their health and stamina bars over them. Your character will usually try to defend themselves when attacked, but think of defend as your character focusing more on defense than offense and preparing for the next incoming attack. Defend will increase your defense to 150% of its normal amount, but it can only help against one incoming attack, then the bonus goes away. There's a subtlety you need to know about defend. Stamina is an important factor. You'll often find yourself running low on stamina, which can affect all sorts of things like accuracy, defense, ability to cast spells, etc. Using defend boosts your normal stamina regen by 150%. That's good to know. So quick refresher, in combat you can move as far as your movement points allow, plus you can attack, use an ability, defend. A few last tips to help you along. Keep an eye on your stamina during battles. Battles can last a while, and becoming exhausted isn't good. Boost your stamina regen using defend if you get low. Abilities tend to be more powerful than regular attacks, but use more stamina. If a monster goes first and they defend, that may also be a good time for you to defend. That's it. We've only covered the basics. There's a lot more involved in combat that we've not covered here, like flanking, prior hit, maximum stamina. You should read the guide on the website, infinitedungeoncrawler.com, for more info when you get a chance. We may do that. I don't know. You're ready to finish wiping the floor with this wolf. Continue to Evervale. Go ahead and finish him off. We already did. Okay, now we can move. What is this, a bone pile? Oh, we found a gold nugget worth 54. 1 pound, 54 value. Let's take it. So yeah, this is a very cool game. I was instantly drawn in by the art style. Love these sort of isometric types. I don't see much reason for coming off the map here, but you never know. We are using stamina walking around the world, so I don't know. I would think like maybe we have to stand in the same place. I don't know how we would stamina regen from walking in the world. Press enter. Maybe a rest command, R. I don't know. We'll have to check that out. Oh, there is a command we can't get to, a camp command. But it looks like Evervale is this way. Let's go. Starting a new game. And see what happens. The game kind of froze on me last time here. I may have to exit the game and just start a new game and skip the tutorial. Seemed a little weird. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, it's it doesn't seem to be working. Seems like just a bug, but no big deal. If we go to Steam, if I can, one second, guys. Alright, I'm back. I just clicked the X a few more times on that Alt-Tab screen, and it closed it, which is fine. Let's go ahead and reopen. And we'll just click New Game. Start with the tutorial X. So, we've arrived in Evervale. Adventurers of all sorts have flocked to the gate. This mystical phenomenon is a doorway to other worlds or something. Welcome to the town of Evervale. I'm sure you're here, like many others, to seek your fortune via expeditions through the gate. You will find that our humble town provides the necessary services to facilitate this, as well as various diversionary activities that you and those in your employ may appreciate after rigorous expeditions. As the mayor's clerk, sir, I'm required to register all newcomers to our town. You are a sir, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's sir. That one. Select your gender, click next. Okay, we can go windowed mode. Yes, very well. I will need Form 284A. Well, yes, here it is. This may seem like a silly question, but I need you to list your race. I wouldn't want to assume anything. So we've got humans, are the predominant beings in the middle reaches of the continent, which encompasses Evervale. They tend to be somewhat taller than other humanoids, but being the dominant race, they are the definition of average. Dwarves may have originated from the eastern parts of the continent, but they're long established in this area and are a common sight. Following custom, all male dwarves grow and maintain beards from the start of their name day and on. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. They grow and maintain beards from the start of their name day and on. They tend to be stronger and sturdier than other humanoid races. They get +1 strength, +1 constitution. Although their shorter stature makes them slower runners, -1 move point. Their shorter height also forces them to swim in medium-depth water that others can stand in. Incapable of magic, they cannot become mages or druids. Dwarves are taught early on how to maintain armors and thus can get better benefits out of them. Plus 10% any armor protection, weight, or degradation. Because dwarves worship their own gods, they cannot be paladins either. Interesting. Common elf. Although common elves make their home in the western reaches of the continent, they are still a regular sight in the land of humans and widely accepted. They tend to be nimbler than humans, +1 dex, but lack their strength, -2 strength. Common elves learn to wield bows from an early age and are highly proficient with them, +1 bow weapon skill, +1 range distance. Because elves worship their own gods, they cannot be paladins. Dark elves are named for their pale complexions and dark hair, not for any preponderance toward evil. Descended from a previously subterranean race, they have keen night vision, minus 50% darkness penalty. They also have a natural resistance to magical effects, 10% magic defense, plus they are blessed with an ability named Mithribus's Dearth, which can cause confusion in an enemy. Mithribus's Dearth. Dark elves tend to be less able to fight disease and ill effects than other races, minus 2 fortitude. Because elves worship their own gods, they cannot be paladins. Half-goblin. Half-goblins are an unfortunate byproduct of goblin raiding parties on human settlements. Most offspring that bear the green skin and large pointed ears are left to die in the woods, but occasionally one of the mothers finds it in their heart to raise the child to adulthood. Due to this stigma, many humans dislike half-goblins, and thus they tend to be the target of antipathy. Minus 1 charisma. Although their body size tends to be thicker, they nonetheless have more endurance than other humanoids, plus 10% stamina. While not aligned or accepted by true goblins whatsoever, they do share a resistance to both poisons and slowing effects, 50% poison resist, 15% slow resist, but they also tend to have lower intelligence similar to their forebears, minus 1 intelligence. And finally we have Golden Elf. Golden Elves are distinguished by their fair skin and light hair, which stems from their descendants surviving in the harsh northern extent of the continent that is shrouded in perpetual winter. Over time they've evolved and migrated to the lands of the humans and adapted, but that process has never fully evolved, and they suffer from lower stamina than their humanoid peers, minus 10% SP stamina regen. The joke is that they still have ice flowing through their veins, although in reality they do exhibit a resistance to cold, 25% ice resist. Golden Elves are blessed with Aleatha's Gift, which is an ability to heal themselves and others, as well as cure bleed and poison. They also are naturally skilled healers and receive a 25% bonus to any healing on themselves or others. Because elves worship their own gods, they cannot be paladins. I think I'm going to be a dark elf. I like Mithribus's Dearth. Plus, I just like elves in general. And, you know what? Actually, maybe be a common elf with a bow. I think that'd be pretty cool. But actually, dark elves are probably decent with a bow too, but I would think, you know, the +1 bow weapon skill, +1 range distance for an elf would be better. Let's be a dark elf bowman. Next. Yes, very well. I must now record a description of your person for any wanted post. Well, let us say, should a description of your physical characteristics be required by the authorities. So this is pretty cool. We can kind of mess around with, you know, skin color and stuff. Height. I'll be a tall dark elf. Thickness, you can be real thin, you can be real thick. We'll be like something around that. You can do the jaw. That's more like which jaw do you want. I think we'll go for like that jaw. And then you can change the ears all around. We'll go with those. And you can, you know, put them up or down. I think I'd like them a little higher. Okay. Let's go to eyes, nose, mouth. Different eyes. Whoa, son. Let's get that nose out of there first. Go ahead and put a nose like that. Maybe eyes like that with mouth like... oh dear. It's pretty cool. Maybe a mouth like that. With eyes like that. We'll go green-eyed bandit. Lip color. More pale. Then we do the hair voice. Should look better with different eyebrows and hair. I mean, it looks cool. It's pretty cool, this system here. Lots of modern hair. Let's maybe go with like that. And different eyebrows. Wow, that really makes the face, doesn't it? Something like that. Hair color. Like that. Voice pitch.
Yes! Ha ha! Yes! Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha! Ha ha!
That sounds pretty good. Don't think I'm quite done. Let's try different eyes. Oh, wow. Sleepy eyes. Yeah, let's stick with those. Maybe a different mouth. I don't know if that chin's working for me. Let's try that chin with... maybe that mouth, but take it down a bit. Just kind of got a long face then. Or maybe just lips like that. Let's try a different nose. I think that looks pretty good, that one right there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. I dig it. Can I do a different type of hair color? I can go like blue, which is kind of interesting. But I think like this color here is nice. Alright, there we go. There's our elf. When you're happy with the appearance, click next. And what would you list as your employment subspecialty? So here's the classes thus far. We've got fighter. Fighters love to do exactly that, fight. They excel in close-range melee combat and are always ready to jump into the fray. Fighters have an affinity for one or two-handed swords, axes, and hammers, as well as spears. They typically have special abilities that are offensive in nature. In their odd time, they like to train for their next fight. Never go into battle without a sturdy fighter by your side. Fighters gain either one ability and one skill per level, odd levels, or two skills every level, even levels. Mage. Mages are students of ancient knowledge and are happiest when amongst dusty tomes, the older the better. Mages focus on the application of magics, both offensive and defensive. While their devotion to study oftentimes stunts their physical prowess, it is a fallacy that they cannot wield a melee weapon or wear armor or even use a shield. However, most mages still prefer to attack from afar using magics or a wand or staff, but they also have an affinity for daggers. Mages gain one ability and one skill per level they advance. Cleric. Clerics specialize in providing support to others, such as through healing or defensive buffs. However, to think these contemplative healers to be pacifists would be a fatal mistake. Clerics are proficient in melee combat and often seen on the front lines. They have an affinity for blunt weapons such as the mace, either one or two-handed, club, or one and two-handed hammers, and are also handy with a crossbow. Clerics follow the teachings of an ancient guru and believe the path to fulfillment is gained through meditative focus, which leads to psychic clarity. They shun drunkenness as it interferes with that aim. Clerics gain either one ability and one skill per level on odd levels, or two skills every level on even levels. Ranger. Feeling most at home in a tent in the woods, Rangers are known for their hunting skills and are highly proficient with bows, but they're also known to handily wield one and two-handed axes as well as spears. Having learned to sleep with one eye open, they can rarely be ambushed. A Ranger in your party will also allow you to see further than you would otherwise. Rangers prefer to be on the hunt most of all and shun books, preferring knowledge through experience. Rangers gain either 1 ability and 1 skill per level, odd levels, or 2 skills every level, even levels. Druid. Druids are in tune with the natural world and believe that the universe is awash in power, and those skilled in the art can focus this power to their benefit. Most often this power takes the form of offensive nature-based magic abilities. Many druids prefer staves for their versatility as both a melee and ranged weapon, but they have an affinity for daggers, clubs, and one-handed hammers. Druids often perform ancient rituals at stone monoliths, which seem to focus their energies. Druids gain 1 ability and 1 skill per level they advance. Then we have Rogue. Rogues are versatile fighters that are proficient in both melee and ranged attacks. Their methods tend to be on the sneaky side, however, and many of their abilities are aimed at disadvantaging opponents. Rogues are the only class that can learn to dual-wield a one-hand weapon plus a dagger for added accuracy, damage, and blocking. They have an affinity for one-handed axes, daggers, and clubs, as well as bows and crossbows. Rogues shun organized religions or anything spiritual unless it is praying to Lady Luck while rolling dice. Rogues gain either 1 ability and 1 skill per level, odd levels, or 2 skills every level, even levels. Then finally we have Alchemists. Alchemists specialize in creating brews and concoctions for various purposes. They are fond of carrying combustible or toxic flasks that can be hurled at their enemies, but can also whip up potions to cure many negative afflictions. Alchemists have an affinity for one-handed hammers, maces, and clubs, but their real expertise is in using a slingshot, which they can load with various shot that does additional elemental damage. Their favorite activity is to spend time experimenting in the lab amongst their crucibles and alembics. Always trusting in science, they shun the spiritual as a waste of time. Alchemists gain either 1 ability and 1 skill per level, odd levels, or 2 skills every level, even levels. I think I'm going to be... Let's see... Maybe... Maybe a rogue. I tend to like rogue. Go ahead and be a rogue. I need to record for official purposes a description of your personal attributes. For example, how strong you are you an intellectual, are you more charming than most, etc., etc. While all attributes are beneficial, rogues benefit from a relatively higher dexterity. Strength, we have 8 points to spend. Strength, a measure of your physical power, affects melee damage, health, carrying capacity, and stamina. Intelligence, a measure of your mental powers, affects spell accuracy, range, and damage, magic defense, plus mental resists. Charisma, a measure of your social skills, leads to better prices, main player only, increases chance duration of positive effects from town activities, contributes to charm resistance. Constitution, a measure of how sturdy you are, greatly affects health and stamina. Dexterity, a measure of your agility and nimbleness, contributes to movement points. Initiative, melee defense, stamina, and melee ranged accuracy. Fortitude, a measure of your resilience, contributes to magic defense and greatly affects physical resist plus stamina regen. It's at a 6 right now, so I'm going to take it to maybe an 8. This leads to better prices, increased chance duration of positive effects from town activities. That sounds good. And last point, we'll go ahead and put in dexterity. Sorry I'm a little stuffed up, guys. That's just how it works. As you can see, there's definitely bonuses down here. I don't know all of them. That looks like movement points maybe plus 6, first aid plus 1, morale plus 10%, gold plus 10%. Oh, there's movement plus 1.02. I don't know. Luck plus 6. You can see all this different stuff. I don't know exactly how to see like what that stuff does. Maybe in game we can, but let's hit next. Subsection C of the registration form requires that I list any special abilities that you may possess. So we do have first aid. You can see what it does. Looks like 2 to 4. Quickly patch yourself up. Level 1 support, affects self only, cures bleed, restores 2 to 4 points of health, plus 0.5 per level, will not exceed max raw health, cannot be used to apply to targets in deep water. There's Mithrebus's Dearth. see what it does. Confuses an enemy, causing them to lash out at whoever is closest. Level 1 offensive, range 2, can target those in deep water. 50% chance to inflict confuse. That looks like range 2. Single target, 50% confuse. Whatever that may mean. Power attack. A stronger form of melee or ranged attack. Level 1 requires an equipped weapon. Melee. Plus 5% damage per strength over 8. Plus 2% accuracy over dex per dex over 8. Or ranged. Plus 2% accuracy per dex over 8. Depending on equipped weapon, can target those in deep water. Target defends with melee defense. Same range as equipped weapon. Plus 10% base accuracy. Deals normal weapon damage. Plus 20%. And finally, shove. Push someone or something out of your way. Level 1 melee plus 2% accuracy per dex over 8. Plus 5 accuracy per strength above target. Can be used while swimming in deep water. Can target those in deep water. Target defends with melee defense. Can be used to push back enemies or movable objects. Affects multiple target areas not affected by lighting conditions. Pushes target back 1 grid square. So we have Flaming Arrow to start with. Icy Bolt. Shoot a frozen crossbow bolt. Set an arrow from a bow across crossbow with fire. Icy Bolt. We have Smoke Bomb. A bomb that when hurled creates a small cloud of smoke that blinds anyone in the target area. 100% chance. Looks like. Venomous Strike. Apply poison to your current weapon and weakening hit. Hit them where it hurts with a melee strike meant to weaken them. 40% chance to inflict weak. Deals normal weapon damage. Yeah, I'm really stuffed up. Apologize, guys. This deals same range as equipped weapon. Normal weapon damage, but 3 to 8 poison damage per turn while afflicted. And it looks like doesn't say how long they'll be afflicted. Then we have the Smoke Bomb. Anyone in contact with it, 100% chance to inflict blind. Not affected by the lighting conditions. Cannot be used or applied to targets in deep water. Icy Bolt, pretty self-explanatory. Does 1 to 4 ice damage. Ice also does 2 times stamina damage and has a 5% chance per point of damage to cause slow. Very nice. Same for fire. 5% to cause panic. Interesting. And 1 to 4 fire damage. I think I'm going to go Smoke Bomb, honestly. The range is 6. That's pretty nice. This will create 100% blind, which could be really useful if we're in a group fight and I'm kind of fighting for my life. So we'll go ahead and add that. Subsection D requires you to list any and all special skills that you may have. So what we have right now is Bad Attitude, Rogue, minus 10% morale or whatever. Your cynical nature makes your personality rather prickly at times, increases the effect of negative morale factors and chance for a negative affliction, decreases effect of positive ones by 10%. And what are you going to do? Dark Elf abilities. Despite being more sickly, you have better night vision and resistance to magic. Okay, so magic defense plus 20%. Decreases the accuracy panel in the dark by 50%. Fortitude goes down by 2. Lockpicking gives you the ability to pick locks. How good you are at it depends on your dexterity. Unstoppable rogue ability. Being quick on your feet, or skill I should say, comes natural to you. Increases slow resist by 25%. We can take bows, the ranger's favorite but used by many. Has a slight chance to inflict bleed and a fair chance to inflict weakness. Interesting. Increase accuracy by 5 and damage by 10% when wielding a bow. And this would give us an affinity, 10% accuracy. And I'm not sure what the 5 is. Can attack from a good distance or up close, still do fair damage. Clubs, not just a big stick. Less accurate and damaging than maces, but more common and inexpensive. Fair chance to inflict stun, accuracy by 5, damage by 10%. 10 accuracy. Crossbows, point, shoot, repeat if necessary. Does require an extra turn to reload and has a much shorter range than a bow, but does more damage. slight chance to inflict bleed and or stun, plus a fair chance to inflict weakness. Right now, that's what we're going to go with, but let's look at the others. Daggers, the Backstabber's Delight. Much more accurate than a sword, but does quite a bit less damage. Slight chance to inflict bleed. One-handed axes, not just for trees, chop your way through enemies. Slightly more accurate than a sword, but does less damage. Fair chance to cause bleed. I think I'm going to go crossbows. This sounds pretty neat. So let's go ahead and add it. Next. Oh, my good gracious, I completely neglected to ask your name for the official registration. We can hit random. Brenton, Bertrand, Maurice, Mario, Gideon, Herschel, Stefan, Steven. Let's go with Alzarian. This is the last of the paperwork. All of the T's have been crossed and the I's dotted. Is there anything you wish to amend before I file the official copy? Now would be the time to do this, as changing all of this later would require amendment form 37F. And trust me, you do not want to fill out that form. Looks pretty good. It's not a min-max build, but then again, I never do that. You can see our other stats and stuff. We start with that gold nugget we found. We'll get into that next episode. Kind of have to wrap this up here probably. Let's see how long we've been playing. 40 minutes, yep. So I'm pretty happy with this, I think. A couple of tips for you. The very first thing you're going to want to do is head to the merchant and sell that gold nugget in your pocket. That was quite the stroke of luck finding that. The proper gear from the merchant should help to ensure your survival. It is quite dangerous beyond the gate. You won't be able to afford much, but I definitely focus on getting the best weapon that you can afford. Worry about armor later when you've got more coin. You're probably fairly fresh right now, but after you get back from your first trip through the gate, you'll need to find a bed somewhere to recuperate. If you're looking for a roof over your head, or at least part of a roof, the Drunken Rooster Tavern has the cheapest rooms in town. I am told that you can get wet on days that it rains. If you find yourself out of coin, while I can't officially condone it, it is known that some travelers are forced to sleep in the alley behind the tavern, and it is, of course, free, but don't expect a good night's rest. The inn provides nicer accommodations, but is definitely more costly than the tavern. To locate any of these accommodations, just look for the room sign inside the tavern or the inn. Should you establish yourself in town and find yourself desiring finer lodging, please inquire with us again here at the mayor's office regarding purchasing a lot in town on which a house may be built. Very cool. If you intend to venture through the gate, you may also find it advantageous to hire on other adventurers to your party. They tend to be transient in nature, but there are always several milling about at the tavern. There are legal requirements to be met when you take on hirelings, and they will explain all of that to you at the time, but doing so may very well preserve your life when you encounter the dangers that lie beyond the gate. This is definitely not something you can currently afford, but keep it in mind once you have accumulated enough coin. As a general rule, I wouldn't take on hirelings prior to your attaining level 3. Splitting the paltry loot you find in the beginning may be too much of a burden. Speaking of the gate, be aware that while the first traveler is free, there's a 10 coin fee per person after that. Sorry, no refunds on party members that do not avail themselves of the return trip. When you are ready to venture through the gate, merely cross the bridge in the southeast corner of town. The guards there will collect any fees. Of course, I'm sure you're aware that the gate will automatically return your party, any living party members that is, will return them to town after 3 days' time. It is a safety mechanism built into the gate to assist lost travelers that cannot return on their own, so you do have limited time in which to explore the strange worlds on offer beyond its portal. Please take advantage of the many activities and training that we have to offer within town. The price is usually clearly displayed at each establishment. Merely drag you or your hireling's portrait onto the activity to partake. Note that if you or your hirelings avail themselves of an activity, that person cannot travel through the gate that month. If you wish to advance a month without traveling through the gate, to finish activities, merely click on the hourglass icon. Note that all normally monthly expenses such as lodging will be incurred. On a side note, we do have odd jobs available from time to time here at the mayor's office. Please check in often, as these jobs are usually available for a short time only. The pay can vary depending on the complexity or danger involved, and feel free to send one of your hirelings to complete jobs if you desire. It makes no difference to us who completes the job as long as the job is completed successfully, which you can then split the proceeds with your hireling. Most of these jobs take time and therefore tie up the person involved for the month. You can inquire here at the mayor's office about jobs, but we also post them on the notice board just outside. Good luck, adventurer. I wish you good fortunes. Woo! Okay, guys. I'm going to save here. I want to say thank you for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Next time we're going to jump into town and see what that's about. Yeah, I was just really feeling this game. I kind of go by intuition when I pick a game, and it happened to be one I clicked on. It stood out. It was instantly cool to me, so I was like, yes, this is the one. So I hope you'll enjoy future episodes of this. It is going to be a Let's Try, so it may have fewer episodes, it may have more, depending on how much I decide to play. But I can see myself playing this a few times at least today on my rest day. So hopefully you'll join me for those, and I hope you dig what you're seeing so far. I certainly do, so that's a plus. Thank you for watching, though. Appreciate you guys very much. Much love, peace, and joy to all of you. And hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay cool. And this is Fluent signing out. Bye-bye.